Turkey's departure from NATO, a new geopolitical reality. Turkey's possible departure from NATO is becoming an increasingly realistic scenario, driven by a complex web of geopolitical, economic, and strategic factors. The relationship between Turkey and the United States, which leads the NATO alliance, has deteriorated significantly in recent years. What was once a strategic partnership has now devolved into a fraught alliance marked by mutual distrust and conflicting interests. For Turkey, the U.S. and its allies are increasingly viewed as adversaries rather than partners. The EU's economic dilemma and energy crisis. The European Union's economic struggles, exacerbated by energy shortages resulting from U.S.-imposed sanctions, have only deepened the divide between Turkey and the West. The sanctions, primarily aimed at Russia, have had severe unintended consequences on the EU, particularly Germany, whose economy has been significantly weakened. As one of the EU's largest and most robust economies, Germany's downturn is emblematic of broader EU challenges. By pushing the EU to sever ties with Russia, a major supplier of energy, the U.S. has created a perfect storm of rising costs and economic instability across Europe. For Turkey, watching these developments unfold has only confirmed the futility of aligning itself with a region in economic turmoil, strategic encirclement, and the Aegean escalation. Meanwhile, Turkey faces growing military encirclement by the U.S. and its NATO allies. In the Aegean Sea, the U.S. has been fortifying Greek islands with substantial military deployments, including troops and advanced weaponry, which contravenes the Treaty of Lausanne. This agreement, which established the boundaries of modern Turkey, has been increasingly disregarded by NATO allies, raising tensions and stoking fears of an imminent conflict. Moreover, Cyprus is emerging as a potential flashpoint, with the UK, France, Israel, and the U.S. reportedly using the island as a staging ground for a possible attack on Turkey. The proxy wars in Syria and Iraq. Turkey also finds itself entangled in a series of proxy wars in its immediate neighborhood, particularly in Syria and Iraq. The U.S. and Israel have been using Kurdish militias as proxies to destabilize these regions under the guise of combating terrorism. However, many in Turkey perceive these maneuvers as part of a broader strategy to weaken Turkey's position in the region. This is seen as a continuation of Theodor Herzl's Zionist ambitions and the myth of a promised land, which some argue have fueled ongoing conflicts and tensions in Gaza and beyond. While these conflicts may appear to be unrelated, there is a growing belief in Turkey that they are, in fact, part of a calculated strategy by the U.S. and Israel, with Turkey as the ultimate target. The illusion of an Iranian-Israeli conflict. Adding to this complex situation is the perception of an elaborate geopolitical charade involving Iran, Israel, and the U.S. While Iran often plays the role of the bad cop in the Middle East, seemingly in opposition to Israel and the U.S., there is a view in Turkey that this is merely a well-orchestrated performance. At the highest levels, the argument goes, Iran, Israel, and the U.S. share common strategic interests, and their apparent hostility is a distraction designed to draw Turkey into a broader regional conflict. This scenario is reminiscent of the fabricated narrative around weapons of mass destruction, WMDs, in Iraq, a lie propagated by the Bush administration to justify the invasion of Iraq and gain control of its oil reserves. A shift toward Asia, Africa, and the Turkic world. Against this backdrop, Turkey's future appears increasingly aligned with Asia, Africa, and the Turkic countries. Turkey is actively building new economic and military partnerships that promise greater autonomy and influence, untethered from Western dominance. This new alliance, comprising over 300 million people, represents a significant shift in global power dynamics, signaling the rise of a new bloc that challenges the existing world order. Turkey's pivot eastward is not only a pragmatic response to its deteriorating relationship with the West, but also an opportunity to redefine its geopolitical destiny. Conclusion: a departure long in the making. In truth, Turkey's departure from NATO has been a long time coming. For years, Western policymakers have underestimated the depth of Turkey's discontent and overestimated their ability to control its leadership. As Turkey continues to strengthen its ties with non-Western powers, the cracks in its relationship with NATO are widening into an irreparable rift. The West's loss of Turkey as an ally is a strategic failure born of complacency and misunderstanding. The architects of U.S. foreign policy failed to recognize the shifting sands beneath their feet, And now, Turkey is poised to leave NATO, charting a new course in an increasingly multipolar world.